that is in our manifesto. Number one, we're going to make sure that we invest appropriately and correctly in agriculture. When I came into office, I said we are not going to subsidize consumption. We are going to invest in production. The price of unga a year and a half ago was 220. Today, it is 100 shillings because we invested correctly. We are continue to invest in that space, in making sure that our dairy, our horticulture, our agriculture in general has the necessary support to make sure that we enhance our production. Let me give you an example. We spend 500 billion every year to import food items into Kenya. We import maize, wheat, edible oil, rice, and all manner of things. And I have made the decision that we are going to invest in production. By next year, we will not be importing a grain of maize. We will move on to rice. We will move on to wheat. And in 5 years, the $1 billion we use to import edible oil, I want to make sure that sunflower, soya, canola, palm oil are all grown in Kenya, and we don't have to import again. Already, last year, we've started the journey on soya and sunflower. We are on course on canola. We've already gotten the seeds, and it is going to help us as a country reduce the foreign exchange that we use to import food when we can actually produce that food in Kenya. Tunaelewana? Number two is education. We need to make sure that our education is accessible, is affordable, and is relevant. And that is the reason why we have changed the funding model of our education. It wasn't working. Many of you, if you are following events in Kenya, most of our universities were struggling because they didn't have money. Because we promised them 80% scholarship, we gave them 40%, and we did nothing about it. We have changed the model, and we are going to make sure that our education is fit for purpose, equips the most important asset we have, our human capital, and to make sure that it works for Kenya and it works for where we want to, the partners that we want to work with as we deploy our labor in many parts of the world. We are spending at the moment $5 billion every year on education. $5 billion US. And we want to make sure that investment has a payback. So we are sorting out education, making sure that our education, as I said, is accessible, is affordable, and is relevant. Number three, I'm talking about cost of living. Number three, we are going to make sure that we deal with our health delivery mechanism. Why? About 1 million Kenyans every year end up in poverty because of hospital bills. I know many of you guys seated here, occasionally you are asked to pay hospital bills. True or not true? All the time. Not occasionally. I want to help you sort out that space. And what we have said is the following. We have changed the law in Kenya for delivery of health. It was not working. So we now have 4 pieces of legislation, new legislation, to make sure that we deliver universal health. We want to make sure that every Kenyan has a health insurance facility. Every Kenyan. You people who live in this country know the value of health insurance. You know that if you don't have health insurance, you are in trouble. True or not true? And that is why you hear people in Kenya calling me names, including the Zakayo you hear. Because, and I have said I don't mind being Zakayo, I don't mind. So long as we sort out our country, I have no problem. Are we together? So we want to make sure, and I have said that those who, let me put it this way, we are going to pay for health insurance on the basis of one's income. You know? The more you pay, the more you earn, the more you pay. And that is why we are saying those who cannot afford, we're going to make sure that the government of Kenya pays for them. We have said the people who are paying 500 shillings, we will do an assessment of their ability. And those whose assessment is lower, we will reduce that to about 300 shillings. And we are going to make sure that every citizen has access to health. I'm very proud of Susan Akomicha. She is in our midst, this girl here. She's doing a good job. And her team at the Ministry of Health. So we are working on that. We're going to sort out that health. If we sort out health, we sort out education, and we sort out agriculture and have enough food, we will begin the journey to spend less in that space by making sure that we reduce the cost of living. That is assignment number 2 that I have. Assignment number 3 is to create jobs. Because we have close to 5 million Kenyans who don't have jobs. Our own children, Kenyans out of school, Kenyans out of college, Kenyans out of university, and they don't have jobs. And you see, for a long time, we all